My name is John Mary, and this is Art 360. Welcome back to yet another episode. This is the second episode in this series, and today we're going to talk about arts organizations in Uganda, past, present, and future. Probably, I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know which organization will be alive come the year 2023 or even just 6 months from now. But that doesn't stop me from doing this episode. Well, let's jump right in. All right. Well, truth be said, there are several arts organizations in Uganda. To name but a few: Tebere Arts Foundation, Bayimba Cultural Foundation, Milege Incorporated. I don't know if they are still operational, but well, there were once an arts organization in Uganda, a good one at that. I learned a lot from them. Batalo East, 32 Degrees, among others. Each of these organizations specializes in slightly a different art form, and while some try to be multidisciplinary, let's put a highlight on the word multi-disciplinary. It is challenging to pull off, given in a country like Uganda where the arts are not so much respected or even observed to that matter. Well, truth be told, it is not easy. It is quite challenging to be a multidisciplinary arts organization in a country like Uganda, and later on in the series we'll take an example of one of such organizations that tried or has tried the past 15 or so years to be multidisciplinary, and where that has left it. Anyways, well, this then leaves us wondering whether it is a bad idea to merge different arts disciplines and pull off a multidisciplinary setting. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Problem is, we are not yet at that level, at least as a country in Uganda, because the problem is, if you take one arts discipline, say dance, doing dance in its totality with all the aspects takes just a lot to pull off perfectly. And if you mix this before you achieve it 100% and start mixing it with things like, say, music education or graffiti or any other art discipline at that matter, you are left overwhelmed with a rather impeding and alarming constraint on your resources. Well, anyways, let's look at some of these organizations and see what they have been doing, or what at least I have seen them do in the past. It should be noted at this point, though, that the opinions expressed on this podcast are solely and entirely mine from my experience being an arts manager and part of some of these organizations during my time serving the arts sector in Uganda. Starting with Tebere Arts Foundation, with the aim to create and support platforms where new and exciting arts of work are created, produced, and presented. Tebere is known for its strong support for storytelling and theater. Well, if anything should be said about this organization is that it has managed to thrive in the training of theater practitioners in an environment where theater is not regarded as an occupation or a serious profession, or even something people would think of as a creative venture of some sort. Nevertheless, Terry in the past has organized several workshops and theater productions, which is a very good way to support spaces and artists in this regard. Well, continuing, there is Batalo East, an arts organization in Uganda specializing in dance, with the goal to increase the knowledge and prominence of traditional dance alongside urban dance, doing this by fostering creative integration of the two styles, developing globally aware young people who are in touch with their African culture, call them roots. Batalo has, for the past 8 or so years, been an active teacher of dance and advocator of dance, both locally and internationally. Well, it is doing really good because it stands out as the only arts organization that remained fully functional throughout the 2-year lockdown. How did they manage to do this? Well, they made history in Uganda. For the first time, we saw artists go beyond their capacities. Batalo East is the first organization in Ugandan history ever to pull off a successful online dance festival that lasted about a week or 5 days, give or take. And no hiccups, no glitches, nothing. This was a time, a time to rise up above the mediocre approaches to advocating for dance and promoting the dance space and making sure the young people are still in touch with their African roots. I come to think of it now, over the past years during my time working in the arts sector for different arts organizations in Uganda, even East Africa at large, all the individuals and organizations would do the arts for money, for profit. I know of organizations that have tried and strived in the past to meet costs through the activities of the organizations, but rather in vain. Would it be a good idea to monetize the arts? Well, it is true the arts have the potential to bring in an unimaginable amount of income to any organization or individual. But when you set out to start up an arts organization and be a player in the arts sector, is this one of the considerations you should focus on? Maybe, maybe not. As we go through these episodes, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see and take real-life examples of men and women who have tried to monetize their practice in the arts, and organizations that have also tried to do this and try to find out what worked, what didn't, and where they went wrong.